My character is Hank, and he's a dog living in a world full of cats and trying to overcome that obstacle. It's great fun working on an animated movie. It's a lot of work. It takes years, several years of working and then reworking and redoing things and finding it. And but it's a really good kind of work, and you get to utilize a very specific part of yourself as an actor that you don't normally have access to. Just kind of you turn off your brain, you forget what you look like, and you just try and focus on your voice. I think that there's a lot of kind of messages to take from the movie. I wouldn't kind of boil it down to one, but I mean there's a very strong message that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. You shouldn't prejudge someone or think that you know who somebody is just because of how they look. And because people are much more than that and are full of surprises. I think that's and that we can all live in harmony, in spite of our differences. I think those are big takeaways for me. I think families should see it in theaters because it's going to be a very fun theater experience. I can't wait to see it in the theater full of people, and especially a bunch of little kids laughing their heads off at the movie. I think that'll just be really fun. Well, I guess I went through a bunch of physical training, for a movie I did a while ago called Scott Pilgrim, where we had fight sequences and I had to learn the choreography of the fight sequences. And before that, I even had to get in the kind of shape of someone who could endure, doing fight sequences all day. So that was the most training I've ever had to do for a job. And it was so much fun. And we all did it together, the whole cast, and it was a great experience. There were a lot of, movies that I saw when I was a kid that had a big influence on me, and I guess Ghostbusters would be a huge one because I kind of had the chicken pox when I was 3 years old and just watched that movie over and over and over as a 3-year-old and was just obsessed with it and with the cartoon and the toys and everything. And I really, all these years later, I can't say why. I really don't know what it was about it, but it made a very deep impression on me.
I'm Michael Cera. I play Hank in Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank. Hank is a dog, and he's a very good dog, and he dreams of being helpful, really, and his big dream is to be a samurai. And he doesn't really have any qualifications, but that's been his dream ever since he was a young puppy, and a samurai came to his rescue, and he idolizes and reveres samurais and wants to be among them. Jimbo, played by Samuel L. Jackson, is sort of just over it, and he doesn't care to help the town. He's really kind of wallowing in his later years, and he's embittered, and he's just given up on what it means to be a samurai. So when Hank comes along, Hank ends up kind of sparking something in Jimbo that's been dead for a long time, and they help each other in that way. So there is sort of a teacher-student dynamic, but they're also kind of tough on each other like brothers, where Jimbo sort of doesn't sugarcoat anything. It doesn't make anything easy for Hank. Ikachu is like a classic villain played perfectly by Ricky Gervais, who is just completely transparent in how self-serving and feckless and completely without morals he is. Emiko, who's a young cat in the village, basically has a quality of total fearlessness that no other character in the movie really has. It's the thing that makes her the most qualified to be an actual samurai. She puts the safety of others above her own self. I think we got an amazing cast in this movie, as I started learning about who was going to be doing the movie, it just got more and more exciting to me. I mean, I was fortunate enough to have one recording session with Samuel L. Jackson, before the whole world shut down and people were not recording in the same room together for a long time. But yeah, that was a pleasure getting to work with him and meet him. Getting to record with Samuel L. Jackson was fascinating and very exciting and entertaining. I love the way he works. I mean, he's just been doing it for so long. He's just like a total ninja at it. He just can get something, get right to the heart of a thing so fast and knows exactly how to do it, and is just such a professional. It's incredible to watch. It's a person who's just knows what they're doing so inside out that they're in total control seemingly at every moment. It was impressive. Kakamucho is a town of cats, and they're in need of help, but they're not going to just accept anyone's help, and the last person who they want help from is a dog. It's a town that has prejudices against dogs. They hate dogs. There's no dogs allowed in this town. So when Hank rolls in, it's the last person they want to see, and they don't give him a very warm welcome. I can't wait to see this movie in a theater, especially with a bunch of kids. I mean, that's the thing I really can't wait for, especially my niece and nephew, who are like the perfect age for it. I mean, it's going to be so much fun, not only because of what a shared experience it will be, and how funny it is, and how sweet it'll be to see this movie with this beautiful message in a room full of people, but it's also, yeah, it's just so immersive, the world, and so expansive, and it just takes you to another place, which is what you want when you go see a movie in the theater, is just be transported somewhere. So I really can't wait for that. The Physical Ride is just a fun adventure movie with a lot of laughs. I think that's going to be the basic shared experience of an audience watching this movie, is it's going to be a great time. And yeah, the takeaway I think is a happy, emotional takeaway, because you just feel like, you know, we all need to just celebrate and support each other, and you know, and embrace each other.